going to do a, it's called a Tackling the Text exercise. And the title of the text that we're going to read today is called Moving Forward to Fix Our Broken Immigration System. And it's actually, you can see it's written by President Obama. And our learning objective, the reason that we're looking at this article today, is for you 10th to 12th grade civic students to understand recent developments in the immigration debate. It's a hot topic in the news right now. Or if you're just tuning in and you don't really know a lot about the immigration debate yet, it's a good article for you to read so that you can kind of get a primer and get the basics of what is going on right now in our government. And we're going to use some of the thinking strategies that we've talked about in class to help us determine important ideas. We're going to ask some questions, and we're going to sort of summarize to ourselves, and then we're also going to infer. That's the fourth thing, and make educated guesses on what Obama's talking about. And there's one guiding question that we should all keep in mind as we go through the article today, and that question is, why did the president write this article? Remember, he's the president of the United States. They don't often write newspaper articles. And what is he trying to tell us? So the purpose is to understand recent developments, and the guiding question is to wonder, why did the president write this article, and what is he trying to tell us? So I'll begin reading from paragraph 1, and we're going to look at two locations in the text that I think are the most important locations to try to figure out what is he trying to tell us. And those two locations are paragraphs 1 through 4 and paragraphs 6 through 8. I think those are the most important paragraphs in the text. So beginning with paragraph 1 through 4. Our immigration system has been broken for decades. Our country deeply values fairness, but our immigration system has become unfair to businesses, workers, and families alike. I wonder why they're saying it's broken. I wonder what's going on. That's something I've been trying to change as president. We have focused on securing our borders, and today the resources that the Department of Homeland Security dedicates to the southwest border are at an all-time high. What are resources? Resources are money. Resources are money and manpower. Since I took office, apprehensions at the border, a key measure of illegal crossings. The apprehension must be getting arrested in an illegal crossing. It's an illegal crossing. Illegal crossings are at their lowest level since the 1970s, and the number of undocumented individuals in the U.S. has stopped growing for the first time in decades. An undocumented individual, and well, so I worked with someone from Argentina once, and he had to get a visa to come to the United States to work. So I suppose that would be, that's a document, it's a permission. A visa is a permission, like a hall pass, come into the United States to work. So I guess an illegal crossing would be if someone doesn't get a visa, and then they're here and they don't have a document that says they can be here. They don't have a hall pass. Moving on to paragraph 3. We also worked with the last Congress on a comprehensive fix to our broken immigration system. 68 Republicans, Democrats, and Independents passed a common-sense bill in the Senate to reform our immigration system while helping to grow our economy and shrink our deficits. Yet for more than a year and a half, Republicans in the House... Wait, 68... Oh, it was a group in the Senate and House of Representatives. Republicans in the House of Representatives kept that bipartisan bill from reaching my desk. What did they do? Vote it down? They must have. In 2012, I took an initial step to help hundreds of thousands of dreamers, young people who were brought to this country as children, live and work in the country they call home. And late last year, in the face of congressional Republicans' continued refusal to act, I took new common-sense steps within my authority to fix as much of our broken immigration system as possible. The steps announced will help us secure the border, prioritize scarce resources, prioritize. So prioritize means putting the most important things first. So they're allocating the resources toward the most important things. Prioritize scarce resources and hold millions of undocumented immigrants accountable by requiring them to pass background checks and pay taxes. How can you hold people accountable? I guess paying taxes. I pay taxes, so I guess they should pay taxes too if I do. In order to have a chance to temporarily remain here without fear of deportation. Hey Siri. Hey Siri, what does deportation mean?
Let me have a look. From two definitions of deportation, the first one is the act of expelling a person from their native land.
Thanks, Siri. So deportation is the act of expelling a person from their native land. So if you were born here, it's your native land. Alright, well that's paragraph 1 through 4, and now let's move on to paragraph 6 through 8. See, paragraph 5, Obama starts it by saying, these steps are good for our economy, our families, and our country. Kind of steps every Republican and Democrat president. Oh, he's saying in paragraph 5 that every Republican and Democrat president for the last half century have taken steps like this. So this isn't something new with him. They are consistent with laws passed by Congress and with rulings of the Supreme Court. So all kinds of people in government who have power have made rules like this. And I think they're talking about his executive order. So paragraph 6. Understandably, however, much recent attention has focused on a single court decision in Texas in response to a partisan lawsuit that delays some of these lawful common sense steps. To those who are affected and disturbed by this ruling, I share your concerns. To those who have questions, the Department of Homeland Security will continue to provide information. But make no mistake, I disagree with this judge's ruling. Just yesterday, the Department of Justice asked the court for an emergency stay of this misguided decision. What does stay mean? And it has already filed a notice of appeal. My administration will fight this ruling with every tool at our disposal, and I have full confidence that these actions will ultimately be upheld. Hey Siri, what does stay mean?
I can't answer that.
I guess Siri doesn't know. I think stay means to kind of stop what he's doing and wait, hold, and halt. Number 8. Paragraph 8. In the meantime, it's important to make clear what the Texas court's ruling does and does not do. Well, the decision temporarily prevents my administration from accepting individuals' requests for relief under the new Deferred Action Program announced last November. It does not impact the original 2012 Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program offering relief from deportation to young dreamers. So the judge must have said that the executive order was unconstitutional, and the White House has asked the judge to kind of reverse those, but they're going to fight it, they're going to appeal, and he's saying it didn't affect these other programs. See, these other programs are still good. We can still use them, so there's still progress being made towards change in the immigration system. So the last few sentences, and the majority of the steps I took last year will continue moving forward. For example, immigration agents will continue to refocus our limited resources on felons, not families. So I guess we can figure out just from reading those paragraphs that the president is trying to tell us. What is he trying to tell us? I think he's trying to tell us that we need to change these things, and he has taken a step that has affected actions that are consistent with people who have come before him. And he also wants to let everyone know that while the deferred action program that would have been put in place by his executive order is being held up for now, the program that he put in place in 2012 is still good to go, so everyone shouldn't be upset. He thinks the law is on his side. He's working for the dreamers and the families to keep everyone together, and that we should stay tuned and keep our hopes up. I think that's probably why Obama wrote this article.